Are you eligible for a free car? Would you even know? Many Americans are unaware that there are programs across the country offering free vehicles to people who need them most. Before we dive into the heart of today's topic, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next tips and updates that could truly make a difference in your life. These programs exist to serve individuals with low income, veterans, first responders, single parents, domestic violence survivors, and others facing transportation challenges. The shocking part is that even people who professionally research public resources often don't know these programs exist. I was one of them. I research assistance programs for a living, and yet I didn't discover some of these opportunities until a caseworker reached out to me directly. That single phone call changed my life. I applied to one of these programs, and to my amazement, I was selected. Later on, I'll explain the exact steps I took to write a compelling application that got me selected. But right now, if you are someone who needs a vehicle for work, school, medical appointments, or even long-distance transport like a semi-truck, there may be something out there for you, and it's worth looking into. Imagine how different your daily life could be with a reliable form of transportation. Would it mean getting to your job on time? Being able to take your kids to school? Reaching your doctor without the stress of depending on others? Think about it, and let me walk you through how these programs can help. In the early days of my career, my own family was in crisis. We were driving an old Ford Expedition that was barely holding together. Duct tape was literally keeping parts of the car in place. The radiator was cracked, the spark plugs were popping out, and the fuel gauge didn't work. Every time we got in the car, we had to guess whether there was enough gas to get to our destination. We ended up stranded more than once. The back door wouldn't even shut properly. It was the very definition of a wreck. We were a one-vehicle family with 5 kids. Losing that car meant losing access to everything: groceries, doctor visits, work, everything. When the engine finally blew a gasket, I almost did too. The repair estimate was more than $5,000, which we couldn't afford. I called every charity, every assistance program I could find, but nothing was working. One organization offered to pay for half of the repair, but I had no way to come up with the rest. I thought we had run out of options until a VA caseworker called me. She told me about a program that gave away free cars. At first, I thought it might be a scam, but because the tip came from someone I trusted, I followed through. That decision was life-changing. I completed the paperwork, went through the process, and, against all odds, was chosen to receive a vehicle. The car they offered didn't quite fit our family's needs. It didn't have enough seats for all 5 kids, so we passed it on to someone else who needed it more. But knowing I had been selected gave me something I hadn't felt in a long time: hope. Since then, I've made it my mission to track down and share every single vehicle assistance program that exists. Let me tell you about the program that helped us. It's called Keys to Progress, and it's run by Progressive Insurance. This program has given away over 100 cars per year and partners with nonprofits and local organizations to deliver personal vehicles, work trucks, and even semi-trucks to those in need. While they aren't currently offering semi-trucks in 2025, they have in previous years, and that could return in the future. The program is specifically for military and veteran families with incomes below 250% of the federal poverty level. Applicants must have clean driving records and pass background checks. One detail that often confuses people is the application process. You can't just go to the website and fill out a form. You need a qualified sponsor to request an application on your behalf. This sponsor could be a nonprofit organization, religious group, veteran support group, or social worker, someone who knows your situation and can confirm your need professionally. If you're connected with the VA or a military base, they can usually help. After the sponsor submits your application, you'll have to wait for a response. If selected, Progressive will contact you by September, and the vehicles are typically awarded around Veterans Day. When I applied, I submitted a written statement, and I believe the way I told my story helped us stand out. I'll share more about that strategy in a moment. Now, if you're not part of a military family, don't worry. There are programs for you too. One such program is Free Charity Cars, also known as 1-800-Charity Cars. It's a nationwide nonprofit that's been around since 1996. They've donated more than $90 million in vehicles to low-income families, domestic violence survivors, veterans, medically needy individuals, and even disaster survivors. You don't need military affiliation to apply. To qualify, you must be a U.S. resident over 18, have a valid driver's license, and live at or below 200% of the federal poverty level. Most importantly, you must prove a genuine need for reliable transportation. You apply online at freecharitycars.org, and your story becomes part of their database. When a car is donated in your area, they start reviewing local applications. A compelling personal story significantly increases your chances of being selected. They also encourage applicants to promote the organization on social media, as it helps increase vehicle donations and boost your visibility in their system. They deliver to all 50 states. Cars for Heroes is another excellent nonprofit serving veterans, first responders, and even civilians. If you're military affiliated or a first responder, you can either apply yourself or have someone nominate you. The application is straightforward, and if selected, they'll reach out to schedule an interview. What makes this program stand out is that they focus on real people in real crisis. If you're not military affiliated, don't worry. They offer a separate application for civilians. There are also several state-based programs that offer vehicles to eligible individuals depending on where you live. For example, Colorado's Good News Garage helps single moms and widows. Florida's Wheels of Success supports people working full-time or with full-time job offers. Maryland's Vehicles for Change has awarded thousands of cars since 1999. These cars aren't totally free. There's a fee of around $950, but they're fully repaired and inspected. Transportation helps recipients improve job prospects and overall quality of life. In Minnesota, organizations like Wheels for Women and Auto Technical help domestic violence survivors and job seekers. New Jersey offers Strengthen Our Sisters, which supports women rebuilding their lives after trauma. South Dakota's Wheels to Work serves single-parent families. Texas's On-Ramp program provides free vehicles through nonprofit referrals. Vermont's Good News Garage and Virginia's Car Ministry provide dozens of vehicles annually, typically to people referred by social workers or pastors. In West Virginia, Good News Mountaineer Garage helps TANF participants with transportation access. If you'd like more information about these programs or want a deeper dive into your specific state, leave a comment. Let's move on to what actually makes a strong application. Many of these programs require referrals. That's why I always tell people to stay connected with local charities, community action agencies, and social workers. Even if the immediate benefit, like food stamps, doesn't feel life-changing, the connection could lead to referrals for programs you didn't even know existed. One program could open the door to others, and the relationship itself could be the key to unlocking the help you need. Now about your application, tell your story. Most of these organizations are flooded with applications. To stand out, don't just say, "I need a car." Explain what led to your situation. How would your life change if you had reliable transportation? Use vivid language. Be specific. Instead of, "I can't get to work," say something like, "Every morning I wake up 2 hours early to catch 2 buses and walk a mile just to reach my job. When the bus is late, I panic, because if I lose this job, I lose everything." Photos are another powerful tool. If the program allows uploads, include images. If not, you can embed them into a Word or Google Docs file. I included pictures in our application of the car held together by duct tape, and it made a difference. If you're walking through snow for groceries, show it. Let them see the challenges you face every day. It makes your story real and memorable. Try to align your story with the organization's mission. If they're focused on job seekers, talk about how transportation would help you find or keep a job. If they support domestic violence survivors, speak about your recovery journey and how a vehicle would help you build your new life. Always be honest. Never lie. But understand how to present your situation clearly and powerfully. Reviewers don't live your life. They won't know what you're going through unless you show them. Lastly, remember that while these programs provide the vehicle, there are still costs involved. You may need to pay for insurance, registration, license fees, and even emissions tests or transfer fees. Be prepared. If you're selected but can't afford those things, you might miss out. Consider setting up a GoFundMe or contacting local charities in advance to ask for help with those expenses, just in case you're chosen. There are real opportunities out there for people in need of a vehicle. If you've made it this far in the video or this content, then you're already ahead of most people who don't even know these programs exist. Share this information, stay connected with your community, and most importantly, believe that help is possible. It happened for me. It could happen for you.